I did see that Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs wore some Fresh Prince cleats during the game or during the pregame warmups. That is a ballsy move. West Philadelphia, born and raised, got one Minneapolis Miracle and a ton of praise. Playing some football in the championship game, everyone was doing flea flickers, but we thought it was lame. Got our ass kicked by the Eagles, and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving in with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air to watch the Super Bowl on a TV." It's just a song. Skull fucked. You got skull fucked by the Eagles fly. Skull fucked by the Eagles. Skull fucked by the Eagles. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon Perna, and thank you, Philadelphia, for making me believe that, yes, you might have a tiny chance to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You not only defeated the Vikings, you sent them back to Scandinavia with a 38-7 pounding. You proved your team is complete with or without Wentz. Now, to start the game, the Minnesota Vikings sent a message. I have it right here. It reads, Dear Philly, we respect you, but we regret to inform you that we are going to run it down your throat and then score on the opening drive with tight end Kyle Rudolph. He's not from the North Pole, by the way, who will be wide open because we are better than you in every single way possible. Love the Vikings. P.S. Can you return the Tupperware that we let you borrow from the potluck back in August? We will cover shipping. The Eagles did not read that letter because they can't read, but that's okay because it was kind of rude anyway. Instead, they guaranteed it would be the last message the Vikings ever sent and bounced back with the Patrick Robinson interception on a Case Keenum ball that was off target as he may have been hit while he was throwing it and took it back for a pick six. I feel like some sort of football prophet said one of the most important matchups would be Patrick Robinson on Adam Thielen. Who could have said that? The matchup that I think will define this game, though, is the Eagles slot corner, Patrick Robinson, one of the best in the business, covering Adam Thielen. Oh yeah, it was me, the guy none of the networks want to talk about football. Philly put the running game into gear. Maybe third gear, as Ajayi stiff-armed his way for a big first down conversion. Then I went outside to shovel the snow so my wife could leave in the morning for a real job. And I guess LeGarrette Blount BFT'd his way into the end zone. Yes, Blount force trauma'd his way to glory. And no, that's not to be confused with the dirty abbreviation made famous by the candy community where BFT stands for butt fucking taffy. Willy Wonka invented that phrase, I think. But honestly, you should just be impressed that I use trauma as a verb and ignore the weird candy butt stuff. Minnesota was pulling together... I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. Minnesota was putting together a drive as the half was winding down. Jerick McKinnon, Adam Thielen, all making plays. Keenum was spreading the ball around like mustard on a sandwich. Sorry, mustard, taffy. I'm really hungry right now and I'm not thinking too well. And then Derek Barnett started to put the need for another miracle in the minds of Vikings fans as he strip-sacked Case Keenum. Philly recovers the ball on that key play to keep the Skull Army from tying up the game before the half. There wasn't enough time left in the half for Nick Foles to do anything there, was there? No, you gotta be shitting me. Nick Foles escaped a sack just like Carson Wentz and then rocket-fired a bomb to Alshon Jeffery for a touchdown? Wow. Well, that escape was really nothing compared to what Carson Wentz does. I'm sorry, Foles, you'll never be as cool as Wentz, but good play. Philly then went into the half up 21-7. What? No, shut the fuck up, fake producer. No, they didn't. There's no time left. My producer's saying Zach Ertz metaphorically broke Harrison Smith's ankles and got the Vikings into field goal territory with less than a minute left in the half. Philly blasts a ball down the gooch and walks into halftime with an actual 24-7 lead. Holy hell. After halftime, nothing really interesting happened for a while. What? Shut the fuck up again, fake producer. They did not. They're telling me the Eagles then successfully scored a touchdown with the Nick Foles flea flicker, hitting Torrey Smith deep to give the Eagles a 31-7 lead. That means every team on Championship Sunday ran the flea flicker except for the Minnesota Vikings. I guess they didn't get the memo that this is what all the cool teams were doing this weekend. Even Blake Bortles ran the fucking flea flicker, so sure, his was only for like 11 yards, but still, Minnesota. Could the Vikings rally? Would they run 4 flea flickers in a row to take back the lead? That was my question halfway through the third quarter. My question right now is, will I ever feel like a real man? But that's a bigger question for me to handle internally. I gotta move on. The Eagles, every time they needed a big play, they got a big play and more. Halfway through the third quarter, Philly just demoralized the Vikings, driving all the way down the field, taking a ton of time off the clock, and starting the fourth quarter on the goal line, where they of course scored another touchdown, not with a run, but with a Nick Foles bullet, this time to Alshon Jeffery, going up 38-7. And at that point, you could see the Vikings were emotionally broken. Just like a child, when you finally sit them down and tell them that Santa Claus is a racist. The Vikings were so bad today that they couldn't even score a garbage time touchdown down 38-7. Instead, Keenum gets picked off in the red zone, his second pick on the day. Nick Foles finished the game with 357 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, and 141 passer rating, making him the only quarterback of the weekend to have a higher passer rating than the legendary Danny Amendola. He looked like the Nick Foles that threw 7 touchdowns in one game the same year Peyton Manning did it. He looked like a guy who could maybe, possibly, hopefully, please, you better fucking tear apart the Patriots defense, Nick Foles. He looked like he could be that guy and become the most unlikely Super Bowl MVP this season. I mean, I don't know what to say, Minnesota. I was pulling for you. I really was. I believed in the Minneapolis Miracle. But we all knew that the Eagles have a very good team. The question mark was Nick Foles. We knew the Eagles' defense would be good. We knew if they needed their running game, it would show up, and they have wide receivers to make plays. And they did all those things and a lot more because Nick Foles was probably the best quarterback of the whole fucking weekend. Nick Foles was the best quarterback on Championship Sunday. You heard it here. Congrats, Philadelphia. I will be on your bandwagon hard, and I'm sorry I picked against you in the playoffs. I don't know if I still trust Nick Foles, but I think your defense can fuck some shit up. That's what I'm gonna bank on. This episode is sponsored by SeatGeek. There's a link in the description. Use my promo code ThatsGood and you will save $20 off your very first ticket purchase on SeatGeek. Maybe you can still get Super Bowl tickets, but if your team's out of the game and you definitely don't want to go to the fucking Super Bowl, you can get comedy tickets, concert tickets, any sort of tickets you want. I'm trying to give you a $20 discount with my promo code, and you can do it right there on SeatGeek. They rank their ticket prices, so you know what kind of deal you're getting. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube if you even mildly enjoyed this video. Even if you didn't like it, just subscribe. It makes me feel better about being alive, which was hard after that fucking Patriots game. But Eagles, you might make me a believer. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna if you want to talk a little bit of football with me. That's where the boys go to talk football, huh?